I thought it was the embassy, it wasn't. I got a call from a number that looked official Berlin area code. The voice on the other end was calm, clipped, professional. He said he was from the Ausländerbehörde immigration office. He confirmed my full name, my visa case number, and even my date of birth. I froze. My heart didn't race. It just stopped. Because if they had all that information, this had to be real. He said there was an issue with my last visa submission. Something about a missing document. Something about a potential violation of my student residence permit. I didn't understand all the German words he was using, but I knew one thing. Abschiebung. Deportation. And just like that, my stomach dropped into my shoes. He said I could clear it today if I followed instructions quickly. His voice didn't threaten. It sounded like help. That's what scared me the most. I thought I was too smart to fall for a scam. Turns out, that's exactly the kind of person who gets scammed. I moved to Berlin from Nigeria for my master's in data science. New city, new rules, new everything. And honestly, I thought I was handling it pretty well. I had my routines classes in the morning, part-time coding gigs in the evening, little runs on Saturdays, and once in a while, I'd treat myself to a doner from the place near Hermannplatz that was always open too late and too loud. But beneath all that, I was carrying a quiet, constant weight. My visa. I'd just submitted my paperwork for a visa renewal, photocopies of everything, biometric photos that made me look like I'd seen ghosts, and a perfectly worded cover letter I wrote with help from Google Translate and 3 different WhatsApp groups. And then, I waited. If you've ever dealt with the Ausländerbehörde, you know what that means. No updates, no timelines, no replies. Just hope and the terror of checking your post every morning. It didn't help that everything official in Germany feels like a trap. You miss one form, one checkbox, and boom, you're illegal. That's what it felt like, anyway. So I triple-checked everything. I kept folders physical and digital. I even practiced how to explain things in German, just in case they asked. I was doing everything by the book. I trusted the system. Or at least, I trusted that if I followed the rules, I'd be fine. But that's the thing about fear. It doesn't care how careful you are. So when the call came, and the man on the line used the exact words I'd used in my cover letter, I didn't question it. I didn't pause. I was already wired for panic. All he had to do was push a little, and I started falling. The man's voice never wavered. He spoke like someone reading from a very serious script, but not robotic. More like a civil servant who'd said these words 1,000 times. He told me I'd failed to submit a critical document during my visa renewal, something about a Nachweis über finanzielle Mittel, proof of financial means. I had submitted that, but doubt crept in instantly. Maybe I'd attached the wrong PDF. Then he dropped a reference. Section 80, one of the Aufenthaltsgesetz, the German Residence Act. I didn't even know there were sections. He rattled it off like gospel. According to Paragraph 81, subsection 4, your case has triggered a provisional non-compliance flag. This means your status is at risk of being frozen until it's resolved. Frozen? What does that even mean? He asked me to confirm details. For verification purposes, he said, full name, passport number, my last registered address, my visa file number, which he already had. So I told him. I was scared of saying the wrong thing, of sounding suspicious. Then he said something that dropped an anchor in my chest. To avoid escalation, you can place a temporary security bond today. Once processed, it'll secure your file while your documents are reviewed. You'll receive a full refund within 48 hours, along with a certificate of compliance. He made it sound so normal, like paying for a speeding ticket. Official, boring, unavoidable. I asked how much. He said, 860, standard for non-EU student cases. Payment must be immediate, or your file will be marked non-cooperative and transferred. Non-cooperative. The word stung. I thought, if I fight this, they'll flag me. If I cooperate, it goes away. I didn't realize it then, but I was already trapped. Not by the scam itself, but by the fear of what might happen if I didn't obey. My mind started sprinting before my body could catch up. What if I get deported? I imagined it being told to leave. Being sent home in the middle of my master's program. Losing everything I'd worked for because of a document I didn't upload properly. I sat at the edge of my bed, laptop open, inbox exploding in front of me. I searched through every email, every PDF, every attachment. Maybe I did miss something. Maybe the file didn't upload. Maybe they really were trying to help before it became a formal issue. And that's when I felt it. The urgency wasn't just theirs anymore, it was mine. I was carrying it, feeding it, drowning in it. I picked up my wallet. My debit card slid between my fingers. The man on the phone was still calm. Once the bond is processed, you'll receive immediate confirmation and temporary protection status. Just don't delay. Then he said at the line that finally cracked the spell. And please don't contact anyone else until this is resolved. We don't want your case flagged for external interference. Wait, don't contact anyone else? That wasn't official. That was possessive, controlling. That didn't sound like the Ausländerbehörde. That sounded like a lie trying very hard to stay alive. And for the first time, I paused. I just need to grab my card, I told him. Give me 2 minutes. He agreed without hesitation, too easily. I muted the call. And in those 2 minutes, instead of opening my banking app, I opened Google. I typed in some of the phrases he'd used. Temporary security bond visa Germany. Ausländerbehörde payment phone call. Don't contact anyone else until resolved. Enter chaos. Reddit threads, Facebook group warnings, forum posts by international students, all telling the same story. Same language, same urgency, same phone tactics, same amount, 860. Same line, we'll refund you in 48 hours. And then I saw it. An official post on Polizei, Berlin, the warning of a phone scam targeting non-EU students and immigrants. It literally used the phrase, the immigration office will never ask for payment via phone. All financial communications are done in writing or by post. I sat there, phone still muted, his voice buzzing softly from the other side like a fly behind glass. I didn't even hang up properly. I just stared at my screen, gut cold, heart thumping like it was trying to file a police report before I could. He had my passport number, my address, my case ID. That's what hurt the most. Not the scam, but how close it came, how much it knew. Later that day, I called the real Ausländerbehörde. They didn't ask me to verify anything. They barely spoke English, which ironically made it feel more legit. I asked, do you ever call people about visa payments? They said flatly, 9, only by post, never by phone. And that was it. No panic, no drama, just German-level clarity. I'd almost been scammed out of 860 by someone pretending to protect me. All because I didn't trust my gut until it was nearly too late. The next day, I tried reporting the call to the police. It was harder than I expected. I walked into a local Polizeidienststelle near Alexanderplatz, fumbled through my German, and finally resorted to showing screenshots and translating phrases on my phone. The officer was kind, but overwhelmed. He handed me a leaflet and a QR code to a fraud reporting portal, all in German. I left more frustrated than relieved. So I did the next best thing. I opened my university group chat and typed out everything how they called, what they said, how close I came. Within minutes, 3 people replied, wait, did they mention 860? I got the same call. Oh my God, I thought I was the only one. That's when it hit me. It wasn't just me. They weren't targeting me because I was careless. They were targeting me because I was perfecting international student, mid-application, scared to break rules I didn't fully understand. Still, I felt ashamed, embarrassed. I kept thinking, I'm supposed to be smart. But a friend messaged privately that night, thanks for speaking up. I almost fell for it too. That message did something I didn't expect. It replaced the shame with something else. Solidarity. Scams don't thrive because people are dumb. They thrive because we're isolated. And when you're far from home, isolation is easy. So I told my story. Now, I tell it again here. Because someone out there needs to hear it before the next call comes. It took me one phone call to almost lose 860, but it took me one moment of hesitation to stop it. And I've thought about that moment a lot since. Because scams don't look like scams anymore. They sound professional. They have the right documents, the right numbers, the right pressure points. They don't ask you to believe them. They ask you to panic and respond fast. And the truth is, you don't have to be naive to fall for it. You just have to be new, or tired, or trying so hard to do things right in a country where the rules feel invisible and the consequences feel massive. So here's what I've learned. If it's urgent, it's probably fake. If it feels like a trap, trust that instinct. Real authorities don't pressure, they document. And if someone says, don't tell anyone else, tell everyone. That call could have cost me more than money. It could have shattered the one thing I was holding together through all the paperwork, anxiety, and second-guessing my sense of safety. Now, I don't answer numbers I don't know. I don't share information just because someone sounds official. And I never let fear drive my decisions. But more than that, I share my story. Because someone else will get that call. Someone else will hear the same phrases. And maybe, just maybe, they'll remember this. Follow for more stories like this, real experiences that help you stay safe in a world where scams wear suits and speak your language. Subscribe so you never miss the next warning dressed as a helpful call. And remember, if it's urgent, it can wait. If it's real, it doesn't rush. If it's suspicious, it probably is. Stay smart, stay connected, stay one step ahead.